Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Harry Potter is one of the dearest series to my heart. My entire childhood has been shaped by this amazing series and all of the amazing stories of this particular universe. So today I just decided to make an Iceberg video on Harry Potter series. This video will include information about both the books as well as the movie series. If you don't know what an iceberg is a way of display of information in which the facts which are very well known to the common people are at the top of the iceberg and the information which is not very well known to the common people is at the bottom of the iceberg. This video is going to be quite long, so let's just dive in. Starting with the tier 1 of the sky. Casting. Initially, Steven Spielberg was going to direct the entire series, but he turned down the offer for direction of Minority Report, which is, fun fact, a very nice movie. He wanted to cast Haley Osment as Harry Potter, but JK hated the idea because she wanted that every single actor in the movie needs to be British. After not getting the desired result, one day the producer of the movie decided to just go and watch a play. Coincidentally, in the same play, Daniel Radcliffe and his entire family was there watching the play. The producer of the movie caught an eye of Daniel and was looking on him for the entire play. After the play was done, he went to Daniel's family and offered Daniel the role of Harry Potter. Initially, his family relucted and didn't want to send their child to film industry, but after a few negotiations, they finally accepted and Harry Potter's role was finally given to Daniel Radcliffe. After the casting of all of the main trio was done, all of the main trio was completely disconnected from media. Muggles can't make potion. Okay, this one is kind of simple one. Muggles are the people who are born with no magical abilities, hence they cannot cast any spell. Even if you give all of the recipes and ingredients and they still make a potion out of all of the ingredients with perfect proportion, still their potion would not have any magical abilities because they don't produce any magic themselves. JK and Harry Potter. As the author of the series, there are a lot of similarities between JK Rowling and the Harry Potter series. Hermione is just the book version of JK Rowling herself. Harry and JK share the same birthday of 31 July. Umbridge is based on a real-life teacher that JK had to suffer during her high school. Dementors are based on depression of JK Rowling while her breakup and being a single mother and also writing these books at the same time, and a whole bunch of other things. Peeves. Peeves the Poltergeist was a character in the books as well as the video game. He was a prankster who used to do a lot of pranks on the first-year students. In the movies, he was originally cast but was cut because Christopher Columbus hated the CGI of the ghost. Alan Rickman knew about Snape's past. This one is quite popular. JK actually told Alan about his entire story, Snape being a double agent and also Snape loving Lily or Harry's mother. JK also told him not to tell anyone about the secret. Harry's eyes. "You have your mother's eye" is one of the most popular line in the entire series. But in the movies, Daniel and the actress who has played Harry's mother did not have the same colors of the eyes. Initially, Columbus wanted Harry to wear a contact lens, but the contact lens was so allergic to him, so he decided to drop the idea. Dumbledore is gay. This one is very controversial one. So we all know that JK has declared that Albus Dumbledore was a gay character, which has caused massive outrage in the entire fanbase. A lot of people take this as a sign that Harry Potter fanbase is homophobic and they don't like homosexual people, which is absolutely wrong. I want to shed light on this particular topic. I don't have any problem with someone being gay, but I do have problem when you did not establish the same thing in the books. You have to give us proof so that we can accept the fact that he was a gay person. Canon. Harry Potter movies are not canon. The books are. The reason for this is very simple because JK has not written the movies. She has only written the books and the movies were adapted from the books by screenplay writers. This thing is not the same for Fantastic Beasts movies. Fantastic Beasts movies are written as well as screenplayed by J.K. Rowling herself, so the Fantastic Beasts movies are canon. Umbridge past. Umbridge is one of the worst characters in the entire series. But did you know that she also had terrible relation with her family? She was born into a half-blood family and her father used to work as a janitor in the Ministry of Magic. She absolutely hated this fact and tried to ignore him all the time. Whenever someone used to ask her about her relation with the janitor being the same surname, she used to say that she is a pureblood family and did not know him at all. She also told him to retire early so that she does not have to deal with the embarrassment. On the top of this, she never got married because she wanted to have a person who is going to have a lot of powers in her hand, which she never got. After the Battle of Hogwarts, she was sent to Azkaban and she spent the remaining of her life in the Azkaban prison. Harry suffered the killing curse. The killing curse is the third unforgivable curse that nobody can escape. Once it hit you, you are dead. Harry was the first person who was able to bear the attack of the killing curse. The reason of this was very simple, that is the protection of love that her mother gave him by sacrificing herself. Now we are moving into the shallow waters, containing a lot of facts which a lot of mainstream people do not know. So let's dive into it. Alfonso Cuarón. Alfonso Cuarón was the director of the third part of the movie series, which is Prisons of Azkaban, which is personally my favorite movie. This entry refers to the fact that Alfonso actually told the main trio to write an essay about their entire character, in which Harry wrote one page. Ron decided to skip by saying that Ron, his character, would also do the same thing, and Hermione wrote 16 pages. What happened after the Battle of Hogwarts? The Battle of Hogwarts was absolutely brutal. Many of our beloved characters died in this battle, but not a lot of people talk about what actually happened after the battle. The movies just conclude Harry's kid going to Hogwarts. In the books, we get more details, like Harry and Ron decided to do not continue their study and join the Ministry of Magic as Auror. Hermione decided to return to Hogwarts and complete her studies. Draco's wife Astoria died of blood curse. Hagrid ended up his relation with Maxine and never got married. Ginny became a sports reporter. Harry and Dudley became peace to each other and considered each other as family. After working for a few years, Ron decided to just leave as the job of Auror and went to George's shop and help him to continue his business and grow his business. Hermione continued to work on SPEW and hence finally became the Minister of Magic herself. Dumbledore knew everything. This refers to the fact that the greatest wizard of all time, Albus Dumbledore, makes so many stupid decisions and mistakes in the entire series. So according to this theory, Dumbledore knew everything. He knew about Professor Quirrell, he knew about Professor Lockhart, he also knew about the fact that Sirius was innocent and a whole bunch of things that we do not know that Dumbledore already had idea about. Harry's riches. We have seen in the movies that how rich Harry is, but nobody knows the exact reason. The reason is that Harry's ancestors were the creators of some of the most popular potions that are still used to this day, like Skilligoo and Pepper's potion. Hence Harry inherited a lot of money from his father, from his grandfathers and other ancestors. Harry Potter video games. Harry Potter video games are notorious for being lazy and just being a cash grab to be released together with the movies. I won't say much about them because I have so much nostalgia for these video games and they are so massive that it's not possible for me to talk about them in such a short time. So if this video gets 1000 views, I will talk about the entire Harry Potter mainline video games, giving my views about how do I feel about these particular video games. Harry can no longer speak Parseltongue. After Voldemort accidentally destroyed his Horcrux in Harry in the Forbidden Forest, Harry Potter can no longer speak Parseltongue. Behind the scenes. I think this one is very vague, but I think it's referring to the fact that there's a lot of footage during the movies like prank videos, behind the scene crushes of Ron and Harry, Hermione having crush on Draco, And the biggest one is Daniel's alcohol problems and a whole bunch of other things that happened behind the scene of shooting of these movies. Neville was not a bad wizard, he just had the wrong wand. Neville inherited his wand from his father. As the wand chose their master themselves, the wand did not choose Neville and hence he sucked at magic. After the fifth part he got a new wand and the magic of Neville improved significantly. Leaks and passwords. I think this entry refers to the fact that Harry Potter, being such a popular series, had fair course of leaks happen during the duration of the release of the books as well as the movies. One of the most popular leaks happened when an early copy of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince was leaked, and some people spoiled the story of Snape killing Dumbledore for everyone while those people were standing in line to buy the books. They tried to sell the copy to the Sun newspaper of UK for £50,000 but didn't succeed. Another popular leak happened when, during the release of the last book, once again major plot details were leaked by the Spy Boys. Passwords, I think, refers to the fact that Bloomsbury, which is the publisher of the entire book series, has spent insane amount of money in the security of these books. 24/7 bodyguards were hired, special passwords were made so that only a fraction of the people could access to these books. Even after all of this, the books still got leaked. Cursed Child is canon. Cursed Child is a total abomination. This book has no regard for the original characters, for the original stories, and has just made the mess out of all of them. And the worst part is, Cursed Child is canon. According to some tweets of JK, Cursed Child is considered to be a canon. Majority of fanbase totally do not agree with this, including me. Now we're moving into tier 3. Plot changes. Being a massive series, they are bound to have many changes. There have been so many changes in the entire series, but some of the most important were: Arthur Weasley was supposed to die, Ron was supposed to die, Lupin was going to survive and take care of Teddy, Horcruxes were going to be introduced back in the second part with the introduction of Tom Riddle, Harry and Hermione were going to be shipped initially together, and a whole bunch of other changes. Real Visiting World. Okay, this one goes into conspiracy theory. So we know the fact that Harry Potter's entire visiting world is hidden from the Muggle world, and very few people in the Muggle world actually know the existence about this hidden magical world. So in real life, in our life, there might be a hidden magical world that has been hidden from common people, and very selective few people, or quote unquote the Illuminatis, might actually know the secret to this hidden magical world. I don't know, man, it's just a conspiracy theory, or maybe it's not. SPEW. It was an organization started by Hermione in order to fight for the rights of house elves, so that these socks could be discovered by house elves and hence they can be independent. But all of the socks were discovered by Dobby, and he began to wear them as his own fashion. Book of Admittance. Book of Admittance is a special book in one of the rooms of Hogwarts. This book is responsible for selection of all of the students who come to Hogwarts. The magic of this book is unknown to everybody, but we know that the founding people of Hogwarts used their magic to make the quill and the book do his own work. This book makes the work of headmasters very easy, as they can just say that the book did not write your name, hence you cannot study in Hogwarts. Original Goblet of Fire. Goblet of Fire is often considered a very bad adaptation of the book. The book was very dark and long, and the movie decided to chop a very important part of the story and make it funny and full of jokes. And don't get me wrong, making a funny movie and adding some jokes is not a bad thing. But when you change so much about the book to adapt into a movie, but still the final version of what we got was very tame in comparison to the original movie. The director of the movie, Mike Newell, which, fun fact, has not read any of the book ever of Harry Potter, not even the book which he was going to direct, wanted to initially burn the entire Forbidden Forest, killing thousands of creatures during the dragon chase scene. Thank God this guy was given some creative restrictions. The number 7. The number 7 is one of the most powerful numbers in the entire Wizarding World universe. The number has many importance in the entire series. There are 7 books in the series. Harry's Quidditch number is 7. There are 7 Horcruxes in the series. There are 7 Owls exams and a whole lot. Real Ravenclaw coat of arms. The movie has changed a lot of things about the books in order to fit them to the big screen. One of the biggest changes they did was the coat of arms of the Ravenclaw, changing how it looks. The movies were mainstream and hence the coat of arms is now everywhere, from merch to official locations, and the original coat of arms is not that popular and not very well known. Minerva's partner. Minerva is one of the most charismatic characters of the entire series. But her past was very bad. Her first lover was a muggle boy which she has to leave in order to make career in Ministry of Magic. Unfortunately, he was murdered by Voldemort in an anti-muggle attack. Her second lover was her boss, who also lost her life because of dark wizards. After that, she never loved anyone and spent her life alone. The Defense Against the Dark Arts position was cursed. Voldemort cursed the position of Defense Against Dark Art by saying that nobody will be able to retain the position for more than 1 year. So now let's look. Professor Quirrell died after 1 year of teaching, Lockhart went insane after 1 year, Remus had to leave the position after 1 year, Barty Crouch Jr. disguised as Mad-Eye Moody was sent to Azkaban, Umbridge was carried by Centaurs, Snape died at the end of the series. Everyone is gay. Okay, this is kind of a joke. We all know that JK wants to make the series more inclusive, so that's why she say dumb stuff on Twitter. Now we're going to talk about the Tier 4. Dementor's origin. Dementors are one of the most dangerous creatures of the entire universe. These creatures represent the depression that JK has to suffer from while writing these books. These creatures are dark and gloomy and can suck life force from humans. Not animals, just humans. Dementors are immortal creatures who are native to Azkaban and were created by a very powerful dark wizard named Exquisite. Nobody exactly knows how he created them, but there are some theories regarding to how he did it. One of the most popular one was that he was such a powerful dark wizard that he could have used his power to physically manifest into these creatures. These creatures have made a deal with Ministry in order to keep the prisoners so these creatures can feed themselves. After the Battle of Hogwarts, these creatures were told to leave Azkaban. Voldemort robes fade away. This one actually even shocked me. So in the movies, every time a Horcrux is destroyed, Voldemort is not only physically getting weak every time, but his robe's colors are also getting lighter and lighter, symbolizing the removal of his soul from his body. Horcrux creation. Horcrux are the product of dark magic which are used to split your soul into physical item, hence giving you immortality. But a lot of people do not know the exact process of how these things are created. Even JK herself has refused to comment on this question. So there are a lot of theories. The most popular one include killing a person, eating his raw meat and drinking his fresh blood and then doing a dark ritual to split your soul into the items you chose. Draco's redemption. Draco Malfoy started as a massive bully but slowly turned into a much more complex character. But he never got any redemption both in books and in movies. Harry and Draco still know each other but they are not friends. This was not the original case. Originally, Draco was going to deny Voldemort at the end of Deathly Hallows Part 2, throw a wand to help Harry when he stopped impersonating being dead, but it was cut due to deviating a lot from the main books. I think this could have been an amazing thing to see, that Draco finally became a nice person he was always destined to be. Voldemort's past. This one is totally criminal, as the movies did not do any justice about the past of Voldemort. Voldemort's past in the book is very deep, and this is the reason why the 6th book is my favorite one. Voldemort was the son of Merope Gaunt. Merope Gaunt was born in the Gaunt family who were pure-blood people. Merope was horribly abused by the other members of the family. She fell in love with a muggle named Tom Riddle. She gave Tom Riddle a love potion, married him, and got pregnant. After many years of marriage, she felt that Riddle would begin to love her, so she stopped giving him the love potion. But after knowing what she did to him, Tom was furious and left her and the child. This is the reason why Voldemort never understood love, because he was never born with true love. After that, she left the baby to orphanage and Voldemort began to grow up as evil. And when he learned about his father and family, he went on a killing spree and killed every one of them. Three brothers and death. This theory is confirmed by J.K. herself. We all know that the three brothers got three gifts from the death. So these three brothers are represented by three of the characters in the entire series. Voldemort represents the oldest brother who just wanted power. Snape represents the middle brother who was carried by his grief and wanted to resurrect his loved ones. In the case of Snape, it was Lily or Harry's mother. The third brother is represented by Harry, who just wanted to live a peaceful life. Death is represented by Dumbledore, as Dumbledore at one point used to own all of the three Deathly Hallows. Albus and Grindelwald, two of the most powerful wizards of all time, were not just friends, they were lovers. When Albus had to cancel his dream to travel to the world and take care of her sister, he found Grindelwald. After spending so much time together, they begin to love each other and begin to plan how they're going to spend their life together, how they're going to become the most powerful wizards of the world. Now we are at the bottom of the iceberg, that is tier 5, so let's talk about this one. Harry and Voldemort are distant cousins. Harry and Voldemort have a distant blood connection. Both of them are descendant of the Peverell family, the one who inherited Deathly Hallows from death. This is a very insignificant detail, but a very cool fact to know about. Muggle and Wizard War. You might be wondering, why does Wizard have to hide from the Muggle world, as they are more powerful from Muggle? The reason is kind of in shadows, but there is a popular theory. Once there was a very brutal war between Muggles and Wizards. This war was going to decide who was going to hide from whom. Muggles won this war as they have superior technology like guns, bombs and other powerful weapons. If you ask me, I would love to see this particular war in the form of movie or an animated short. Harry is immortal. We know that Death created Deathly Hallows. 3 gifts from Death. If one person owns all of the 3 gifts, he effectively becomes immortal and can avoid death forever. So at the end of Deathly Hallows, we know that Harry still owns the invisibility cloak, he is still the owner of Elder Wand, and also he effectively owns Resurrecting Stone because nobody else has picked it from the forest. So this means that Harry is immortal, which sounds very amazing that Harry would never die, but if you think in broader scope, this also means that he can never meet his family, his parent, godfather and all of the people he has lost in his life. Ariana is an obscurial. Albus Dumbledore's sister Ariana was an obscurial just like Credence. She was not able to control her magical abilities, which led to the accidental death of her mother. After her death, Albus had to cancel his dream to travel to the world and become the most powerful wizard of the world. Ariana was accidentally killed in a triple-way duel between Aberforth, Albus and Grindelwald. Albus carried the guilt of killing her sister accidentally for the rest of his life. Regulus Black. This guy is very important for the entire story, but nobody gave him any credit. Even his own brother Sirius didn't know about his contribution to defeat Voldemort. So Regulus Black was the oldest boy of the Black family. He left his family in order to join Voldemort's Death Eaters in the First Wizarding War. But this was not the complete story. In actuality, Regulus Black was the first person who was able to identify the secret of Voldemort's immortality. That is his Horcruxes. He spent his entire life finding about these Horcruxes and was able to locate one of the Horcrux in the cave. He went to the cave and was able to take the Horcrux from the water, but the dark magic did not allow him to escape from the cave. So he told Creature, his slave, to steal the locket and hide it from everyone else. This is a very sad story because this person did a lot, but nobody gave him any credit for his contribution. A silent hero indeed. Okay, I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked this iceberg. This iceberg contained a lot more information, a lot more things, but I had to cut them because I wanted to make a more focused video. This series is so massive that it's not possible to list every single information in a single video. So I tried my best to narrow my focus. And now it would be amazing if you can give me a like, subscribe and comment about this video. Bye bye, see you in the next video.